Hey guys, the raw footage guy here, and today I'm back with another video. So for today's video, we are going to be checking out like 8 or 9 other games that are basically alternatives to Fortnite, because right now Epic Games, I don't know what they're thinking. I hope the Batman collab is good, but aside from that, let's just take a look at some other games that came out free on the Epic Games launcher for like a few days. They are still on the Epic Games launcher for purchase, so if you guys want to check some of them out, you can. Some of them are really good, some of them just depends on your taste. So hopefully you guys have fun with those, but I'm going to pick out the best ones I think came out in the past few weeks. So I'm going to start off with Slime Rancher. So Slime Rancher is the tale of Beatrix the Bull, a plucky young rancher who sets out for a far life, thousand light years away from Earth on the far, far range, where she tries her hand at making a living wrangling slimes. With a can-do attitude, plenty of grit, and her trusty backpack, Beatrix attempts to stake a claim, amass a fortune, and avoid the continual peril that looms from the rolling, jiggling avalanche of slimes around every corner. So this game is basically about like farming slimes. Like if you like games that have like cute art styles and like unique characters and such, Slime Rancher is the game for you. It came out free. You can still get it on the Epic Games Store. I don't know the price yet. If I'll put it on the screen if I find it. So moving on to the next one, which is Abzu. I actually finished playing this game like not too long ago, like a few days ago. And so basically, Abzu, you take on the role of a diver in a vast ocean. You wake up floating on the ocean surface, and you just start exploring. And there's no UI. It's just free for you. So in addition to uncovering ancient technology and submerged ruins, in a few areas, the diver is also able to explore land-based environments above the water. As the game progresses, the diver unlocks new areas and pursues the secrets behind the forces harming the local environment. So basically, at the end of this game, I don't want to spoil it. There's just this big thing you have to defeat it. It sounds boring, but the soundtrack, the art style, everything about this game is just it's crazy, and I feel like you guys would really enjoy it. So the next one is something that's actually in the Epic Game Store for free right now, and that's Batman Arkham Knight. So it's it came out in 2015. It sounds old, like 4 years ago, but when you play with a PC from the new age, oh my god, it's so smooth. But okay, so it's about it's basically action and adventure, developed by Rocksteady, published by Warner. We already know that, and it's just like a whole improvement on the game Batman Arkham Origins. So if you like Batman games, you like superhero games and such, Batman Arkham Knight, one of the best you can get right now, and it's free on the store along with Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. So you guys can check this out. The next game is The Cycle by Jaeger. So this game is a competitive match-based first-person quester. From the markers of Spec Ops, The Line, Unfortunate 3, you compete against. Fortunate 3 is basically the planet where the game is set. You compete against other prospectors or collaborate with them to claim as much resources as possible and escape before the planet crashes the life out of you. So in the cycle, the explored galaxy is controlled by massive factions, but the mysterious outer reaches are still up for grabs. In their race to control these frontier resources, the factions need contractors to do their dirty work. You are one of these contractors, competing for objectives such as collecting minerals or hunting wildlife, while being careful to avoid or take down the competition. So basically, you basically hunt down these monsters, and it's just it's kind of chill actually. Just if you're able to have a lot of spatial awareness and not waste your time, you can get through that game pretty quickly. And it's basically like a first person alternative to Fortnite. It's like Save the World. I hope it gets a graphics update. There's actually an update for it right now that I have to download. So if there's any graphic stuff, I'll put it in the description for you guys to read about it. So Moving on to the next game, Oxenfree. It's a really cool game. The graphics are just it's one of another unique graphics game. Its description is supernatural mystery graphic adventure game developed and published by Night School Studio. The game was released for Microsoft Windows, OS X, and Xbox One in January 2016, and PlayStation 4 and Linux versions were released later in 2016, followed by iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch versions in 2017. So this game basically you are uncovering the history about like it's like a spooky 80s teen kind of thing. So it's just like you're exploring the unknown, but it's kind of like similar to, let's say, FIFA The Journey, where you choose like the character options, what your characters say in response and such. So really good game in my opinion. You guys would probably enjoy it. The next one is Subnautica. This game is actually a classic, kind of a classic. So it's an open world survival adventure video game developed and published by Unknown World Entertainment. It lets the player freely explore the ocean on an alien planet known as Planet 4546b, collecting unique resources to survive. They'll face creatures of all kinds in the battle for survival. So this game, if you think of it, it's basically like Abzu but first person, and there's a lot more like interaction with the actual game and survival. In Abzu, you can literally do anything. There's nothing like you got eliminated or anything. And Subnautica got an update recently. Subnautica Sub Zero, I think. So you guys will probably enjoy that. Yeah, Subnautica Below Zero. So you guys can get that separately. You might not want to get it from Epic Games. I don't know that you can get the Below Zero expansion along with it, but you guys can try if you can. Again, in the description I'll write it. Then the next game, we are left with two games. So Transistor is a game. It's like an action slash role playing game, and it was released in May 2014. I know that sounds old, but sold over 1 million copies. It's basically like it's based in the future, and it's kind of follows the stereotype that robots are going to take over the world and such. So you're basically this I haven't finished playing through this game, but you're basically this singer, and your story arc is you were one of the best singers, but then your voice was taken away somehow, and this guy somehow transferred his intelligence to this thing called a transistor. It has his voice in it, and it guides you through the game. So might do a let's play, might start over in that game just for that that feeling, but it will be quite an easy game to make a let's play of. Tell me if you guys want it to be in a video. So next game, last but one, Super Meat Boy. It's basically like a platforming game. Your goal is to find like your friend who has been kidnapped by this evil guy. It's really cartoony. It's not like too cartoony. I've seen other YouTubers play before. It was free on the Epic Game Store. You can still get it on the Epic Game Store. And if you guys like platformer games, challenging yourself a bit, perfect game for you. So this brings us to the last game, which is wait, let me just say something about Super Meat Boy. So you control a small dark red cube-shaped character named Meat Boy, who must save his cube-shaped, heavily bandaged bandage girl, from the evil scientist Dr. Fetus. This game is divided into chapters which together contain over 300 levels, so lots and lots of fun. Recommended to play with a keyboard and mouse though. I tried it with controller, it's not easy. And this last game is a game called Inside. So Inside is like a puzzle slash platformer adventure game developed and published by Playdead Studios in 2016. And it's available on iOS, PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows. It came out for free on Epic Games Launcher as well. Every game I'm covering right now came out on the Epic Games Launcher at some point in the last few weeks. So basically, you're an unnamed boy who explores surreal and mostly, well, monochromatic, which means that it's like there's no color, it's all dark, black and white basically, with like a tinge of color. So the environment is presented as a 2.5D platform game. 2.5D means that it's not necessarily 2D like say Super Meat Boy. It's 3D, but you can't like 360 your character. So there's 3D aspects, but it's not full 3D. So it's 2.5D. So it's dark and the color is used sparingly to highlight both the player and certain parts of the environment. But like I said, the game is also mostly silent with the exception of occasional musical cues. The player controls the boy who walks, runs, swims, climbs, and uses objects to overcome obstacles and progress in the game. The boy gains the ability to control boys to complete certain puzzles, a mechanic that IGN's mod is silver compared to a similar mechanic with the sofa. At various points in the game, the player may discover hidden rooms containing glowing orbs. If all the orbs are deactivated during the playthrough, the player unlocks the game's alternate ending. The boy can die in various ways, such as being shot with a tranquilizer dart, mauled by dogs, and snared by security machines, blown apart by shockwaves, or drowning. As in the predecessor game Limbo, these deaths are presented realistically and often graphic. If the character dies, the game continues from the most recent checkpoint. So, yep, that's basically it. So this was my list of free games that came out. Right now you can buy them. They are all relatively cheap. Shouldn't cost you guys too much. And the next two games that are coming out are Metro Exodus 2033. Wait, Metro 2033, Redux, and Everything by David O'Reilly. Everything is a really cool game. I think Laserbeam played it a while back too, so not bad games, bro. And if you guys want some games, Control is one of the best ray tracing games right now. Hopefully I can get it at some point in the future. Minecraft is also a good mention. And there's another game, Journey to a Savage Planet. It's $27. You guys could get that too. So I'm basically done with the whole video. Make sure to drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and if you want me to make more videos like this, I'll make more. And I think that's it. So you guys make sure to drop a sub, drop a like, have a good day or night or afternoon, and yeah, bye guys. My heart is on fire and I'm burning alive, so I guess I'm not fine, still trapped in my mind. Once upon a time I used to hold you close, now the only thing I'm holding is a broken soul. Knock me down and I'm still falling like some dominoes. Oh no, I'm trapped, I can't get out, no. Back to the basics, you crazy as hell, and I can't bring myself to say I wish you well. Tryna be tough in a world that's ablaze. You told me that you would stay. I cannot breathe through toxic skies. You